Okay, hi everyone, welcome back. And in this update, we are going to check out HBAR's price chart. And I think right now we are looking good, but at the same time, we should, in my view, be cautiously optimistic. Why is that? If you remember, the last time that we talked about Hedera, we were right around this height, and I said, look, it seems like that we have completed a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which means after it we are going to have a move on the downside. And if this is going to be a correction structure, okay, great, at that point we can say maybe here is a long opportunity in hope that we get yet another good and possibly massive move on the upside, and that pretty much play out. So why is it that I'm saying that we should be cautiously optimistic? Here is why. You see, when you zoom out a little bit, okay, the idea in Hedera can be having starting from this point and not the highest high, an A, B, C in form of an expanded flat. And if this scenario is in play, well, okay, that means the low is already in and we can expect a good move up. Why? Because on a higher degree, let's go on H4, okay, in my view, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave 2 about this point into a wave 1, followed by a flat into wave 2. And what's next if this count is in play? You know the answer. Massive move up into wave 3 and 4 and 5. This is great. However, I do still believe that we are extremely bullish in Hedera due to some higher time frame structures, but the structures in the short term can actually be up for debate. So here is what I have to say. If you want to say this point right in here in Hedera is actually the low of our correction into wave 2, fair enough. What you need to see in here is a strong move followed by a consolidation pattern and then yet another move on the upside. Why is that? Because at that point, in terms of Elliott's waves, you are actually able to argue this is 1, this is 2, and then good move up into wave 3, 4, 5, which means we are looking very much bullish and the low of our correction in Hedera is already in. And why did I say in like very short term, this move up is going to accelerate a little bit? Because if you want to go according to this count, I think in order to complete the subwaves for our wave 3, we might be having in this area a series of 1, 2, you see? This can be a wave 1 correction for wave 2 and then good move up into wave 3, 4, 5, which on a higher degree is going to be into this wave 3 correction for 4, another move up into wave 5, and even that one is going to be into a wave 3 correction for 4, another move up into wave 5. And this, my friends, is exactly the reason for why I would like to argue if the low is in, this move in Hedera in the short term, maybe I'm gonna say in the next 3-4 days, is going to accelerate a little bit. On the other hand, if the low of our correction right in here about 22.5 cents in Hedera is not in, then okay, what you want to see is maybe another small move up, but then a decent move on the downside. In order to pay attention, this is important. Take this low down here about, let's say, 23.5 cents. Now, why does this matter? Because let's go, excuse me, around here. You see, if you want to argue that we're going to have our final low around here, then okay, naturally, you need to be able to find in terms of Elliott waves, if you're interested, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up. This specific example is called an impulse. Rules for it are, we should not have overlapping of the waves between wave 2 and 4, and in any kind of 5 wave, wave 3 is simply not allowed to be the smallest wave. And in terms of the subwaves, you know the answer, 5 wave up into wave 1, 3, and 5. And for wave 2 and 4, we can have different counts. I don't know, let's say, yeah, okay, sure. ABC into 4 and like a WXY into wave 2. Now let's go on the live chart and see what's happening. So this is a 5 wave up, no problem at all, followed by a correction down, most likely. Now I'm going to say an ABC zigzag. And again, if this move is going to continue, it can be into a wave 3, correction for 4, another move up into wave 5. But if we get a move down and in it we take this low, at that point, here's a question for you. How exactly are you able to find a 5 wave in this initial phase off of the lowest low? The answer is you most probably cannot find one. But, you know, in the interest of never saying never, let's just say this. Even if you are able to, at that point, find an impulse, the shape of that 5 wave is going to look so odd to a degree that is not really going to be anybody's primary case. And at that point, you are going to see me calling for some more downward price action and saying, you know what, this was just a simple ABC zigzag, and we are going to have maybe yet another ABC down in order to complete the subwaves for, you know it, a WXY in form of a flat and a zigzag. And you want to remember, even if this count is going to happen, then okay, on a higher degree, this whole WXY is going to be still into a wave 2, and what's next? Great move up into wave 3 and 4 and 5. So one way or the other, as long as I'm not proven otherwise in HBAR, overall I am absolutely bullish. But in the short term, all eyes should be on the current move and pay full attention to the next important wave. And I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in HBAR. And until the next update, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.